The Israel Aircraft Industries Nesher is the Israeli version of the Dassault Mirage 5 multi-role fighter aircraft. Most were later sold to the Argentine Air Force as Daggers, and later upgraded as Fingers. Design and development: Israel had to replace more than 60 aircraft lost during the Six-Day War and the War of Attrition which followed. Before the war, Israel began co-development with Dassault to build the Mirage 5, and it was eventually built by Israel and named Ram in Hebrew. Dassault Aviation had developed the Mirage 5 at the request of the Israelis, who were the main foreign customers of the Mirage 3. The Israeli Air Force wanted the next version to have less all-weather capability in exchange for improved ordnance carrying capacity and range, as the weather in the Middle East is mostly clear. In January 1969, the French government arms embargo on Israel prevented the first 30 Mirage 5 aircraft plus optional 20 from being delivered and cut off support for the existing Mirage IAI fleet. This was a setback for the Israeli Air Force, who needed the new Mirage to compensate for the losses of the Six-Day War and was still using the Mirage IAI. Israel then decided to produce the airframes as it had the necessary plans, although Israel did not officially obtain a manufacturing license. Officially, Israel built the aircraft after obtaining a complete set of drawings. However, some sources claim Israel received 50 Mirage 5s in crates from the French Air Force, while the ADA took over the 50 aircraft originally intended for Israel. Production began in 1969 with the first empty airframes with no weapons, electronics, seat, or engine included, delivered directly from Dassault Aviation. The first Ram-A was delivered in May 1971. In November 1971 the plane was renamed Nesher. The Nesher's airframe was identical to the Mirage 5, but there was an extensive refitting of Israeli avionics, a Martin Baker 00 ejection seat, and improved provisions for a wider range of AAMs, including the Israeli Shafir heat-seeking missile. 51 Nesher fighters and 10 Nesher two-seat trainers were built in all. The Nesher had simpler avionics than the Mirage IAI but was slightly less maneuverable. However, it had longer range and bigger payload. The reduced maneuverability did not prevent the Nesher from performing well in air combat during the Yom Kippur War. Nesher production was phased out from 1978 to make way for an improved Mirage derivative that had been planned in parallel, in which the Attar engine was replaced by an Israeli-built General Electric J-79 engine, the engine used on the American Lockheed F-104 Starfighter and McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom II fighters. The result was the IAI KFIR. Operational history Israel The first Nesher prototype flew in September 1969, with production deliveries to the IAF beginning in May 1971, ending in February 1974. These aircraft performed well during the 1973 Yom Kippur War, claiming over 100 kills. Argentina The remaining Israeli aircraft were refurbished and exported to the Argentine Air Force in two batches, 26 in 1978 and 13 in 1980, under the name Dagger, comprising 35 Dagger A single-seat fighters and 4 Dagger B two-seat trainers. They formed a new unit, 6th Air Group, and were immediately enlisted with the help of the 8th Air Group and the Peruvian Air Force, already a user of the Mirage 5, due to the escalating crisis with Chile that year. During the 1982 Falklands War, they were deployed to the Southern Naval Air Base of Rio Grande, Tierra del Fuego, and an airfield in Puerto San Julián, and despite the distance to their targets and lack of aerial refueling capability, managed to make 153 sorties against both ground and naval targets on the 45 days of operations. In the last role, they damaged HMS Antrim, Brilliant, Broadsword, Ardent, Arrow and Plymouth. 11 Daggers were lost in combat. In the 1979 contract with IAI, the Argentine Air Force stipulated that the Daggers would be equipped with new avionics and HUD systems to take them to the KFIR C2 standard. The program, named Finger, was underway in 1982 when the Falklands War broke out. With the war over, as some of these systems were made by the British Marconi Electronic Systems, they needed to be replaced after an arms embargo was imposed by UK. The replacement of such systems took the planes to the final finger IIIB standard mainly by replacing the British equipment with French-built Thompson CSF. Variants: Nesher S, single-seat ground attack fighter version for the Israeli Air Force. Nesher T, two-seat training version for the Israeli Air Force. Daggers, refurbished single-seat fighter version for the Argentine Air Force. Daggers B, refurbished two-seat training version for the Argentine Air Force. Operators: Argentina, Argentine Air Force, 39, Israel, Israeli Air Force, 61, South Africa, South African Air Force, 5. Specifications: General characteristics, crew, 1, capacity, 4,200 kilograms, length, 15.65, wingspan, 8.22, height, 4.25 m, wing area, 34.8, empty weight, 6,600 kilograms, max takeoff weight, 13,500 kilograms, performance, maximum speed, Mach 2.1, range, 1,300 kilometers 1186 with 4,700 liters of auxiliary fuel and drop tanks plus 2 air-to-air missiles and 2,600 pounds of bombs, service ceiling, 17,680, rate of climb 16,400 feet per minute, armament, up to 4,200 kilograms of disposable stores. See also, related development, Atlas Cheetah, Dassault Mirage 5, IAI KFIR. References. Bibliography. Further reading, War of Attrition, 1969-1970, ACIG, retrieved October 13, 2006, Dassault Mirage 5/Nesher in service with the IDFAF, ACIG, retrieved October 13, 2006, the designer of the B-1 bomber's airframe, Wing Magazine, Volume 30/04, August 2000, pages 48, Swiss Federal Court, case of Alfred Frohnknecht, appeal verdict, November 3, 1970. Breffert, Dominique. Duignou, André. The Mirage 3, 5, 50 and derivatives from 1955 to 2000. Planes and Pilots 6. Histoire Collections, Paris. ISBN 2-913903-92-4. Par copyright Res San Imperio, Carlos. Mirage. Espejismo de l'autor copyright Gnica y de la Politica. Armas 30. Editorial San Martin, Madrid. ISBN 84-7140-158-4. Now plus or minuses Padin, Jorge Felix. Sicalci, Juan Carlos. Rivas, Santiago. Now plus or minuses Padin, Jorge Felix, ed. Daggers, Finger and Mara. Serie Faitza or copyright Re 19. Bahia Blanca, Argentina, Faitzas Aeronavales. Retrieved August 24, 2014. External links, Mirage Argentina, El Sitio de los Deltas Argentinos.